Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Chafin Family Farms. We've got yet another day in the shop. It's raining outside, so let's play inside today. Now what we've got here is a marketplace special. Got it for real cheap. Somebody had tried throwing like a, oh, what was it? It's sitting over here on the ground, saving it for scrap. But somebody had put some like motorcycle style engine in it. Here you can see the redneckery they had going. When we got it, we actually had that booger running. Never actually drove it with that. There's drivetrain issues, and we didn't want to mess with that. And it was kind of rather sketchy. Anyways, I had a 9 horsepower, which for go-kart, that's quite a bit. I had a 9 horsepower Robin Subaru EX27 off of an old pressure washer, right? So we get that out. The pump had froze on the pressure washer, and so we needed to get rid of it or repurpose it. We needed to repurpose it. That's what it was. So anyways, we go to put it on here. Had an issue last year with the original carburetor. Had a little leak right, ooh, it's leaking now. Had a little leak right here at the fuel shutoff sediment bowl assembly. So we got a new carb, just aftermarket, just, you know, $25 Amazon special. The engine runs great, sitting still. But what the issue is that we're running into is you go ripping around a go-kart track or even just putzing down a driveway, cruises along great, you let off the throttle, just falls on her face and dies. Can't have that. No, just unacceptable. We can't go hammer down the whole time. So what we're gonna do is figure out how we are going to, where did I put it? It's over here. We're gonna figure out how to slap on a fancy Amazon special. Here we have a nibby. I think that's how you, is that how you would say it? Nibby. I don't know, good enough. Anyways, it's like a fancy Amazon carburetor. So we're gonna take this, and we gotta figure out how to adapt it, because naturally the sizes are different. And originally I was thinking this might be a little plasma table job, but I think I found a quicker, easier solution. So what we need to do is figure out how to get this right about here. I think if we pull that off, we can make it work. Got throttle cable issues and fine-tuning stuff to figure out yet, but not so worried about that. Now originally on this engine, you know, I had the throttle assembly, where was it sitting? Somewhere like, that's upside down. There we go. So it was sitting right there, sitting right there. The old throttle cable, and what I had done is just jerry-rigged a cable to it. There was a fitting on it already. Focus. And it worked until it didn't. So what I think we're gonna do, when the original carburetor was mounted on here, I had a couple studs coming out. These guys here kind of just stuck in there, kind of get it. Something like that. And then over top of those was this piece here, which is essentially an adapter. See how it goes from like a little, I think it's a 24 mil hole, but it opens up to what looks like to be like, you know, kind of like a ported fancy airflow adapter-y kind of something or other that matches up to the face of that. But what I think we're going to be able to get away with, we're going to take a saw to this little booger, cut all the unnecessary crap off of it, all the molded pieces. Although, is that for airflow? Let's see, how did this go on here? No, don't load that spring and send it. Alright, so it's on there like that. Man, I almost feel like we should just keep that. Wouldn't really be in the way of the carburetor. The old fuel line came through this hole, so that was already there. It would protect the spark plug wire a little better. There's heat shielding on the back side. Not heat shielding, it probably helps direct the airflow over the appropriate surfaces. You can see that a little better. Right there. Well, shit. All right, change of plans. I think we're just gonna leave this crap on here. We need to figure out how we are going to mount studs to it or something. Because the issue is, with the new carburetor, the fancy little bolts. Here, let's switch views. This is gonna, I got this fancy little necklace mount thingy. So we're just gonna slap that on and I'm gonna start filming and see what happens. This might not even make it in the damn video. Might screw it up all completely. But let's try it, hold on. Ooh, we get both hands now and moving footage. Okay, so where were we at? I don't remember. Oh yeah, so the bolts that came with it, there's actually multiple sets of bolts here. Let's see. Well, originally it's got this offset thing. Adapter. I was hoping I could modify this one and make it work. But it's just not gonna work. So this would get bolted to this. So if that would get bolted to that, I don't remember which bolts came in what package. I would assume that might have went in. No, maybe it wouldn't clear that. No, that wouldn't work. Was it the stubbies? No. Well, what the heck hardware was I supposed to use? Maybe these will actually fit through here. No, because it interferes with that. Well, what the heck? Now, I don't even know how it was supposed to go. And I got my packages from the carburetor and the spacer? Spacer adapter guy? No matchups. Now we're going to have to find our own bolts. Or what I was getting at is stupid air compressor. I need to find that leak. Now that we were so rudely interrupted by the air compressor, I lost track of what I was thinking or doing. That's one of the downsides of working out here at 4:30 in the morning. Sometimes you lose focus. Let's see, there we go. Tired of this dangly little cord sitting here, so we're just going to take that off for now. When I say cord, I mean throttle cable. Okay, how is this on here? Can you see my belly in this? I feel like, nope, cool. All right, let's put this little boot back on here before we forget. That'll probably help keep dust out, we'll leave that. So I don't even know how this thing was supposed to originally be bolted together. None of the bolt sizes appear to match up quite right. Let's see if we got this size on the shelf. Is that an M6? Oh, we might get lucky. 1x1, 40 mil. Ah, stubby thread. Where you at? Stubby thread. Dang it. Dang it. Well, let's just go verify real quick that this is in fact a, actually, no, it's too short for the adapter. Let's go verify that this is an M6 thread on here. I'm assuming it is, it's Subaru. But I don't know. Ooh, almost settled my coffee. A funny angle trying to look down and make sure this camera's pointing in the right direction. But anyways, all right, yep. Ooh, damn, are those that shallow? Feels like it's the right thread. Maybe it's not. No, it's just sticky icky. Not very much thread engagement. Well, that's kind of shit. I mean, we could always get some M6 threaded rod and then just cut it to length. Still doesn't feel quite right. Let's see how far we can sink that down and what it does. It's snug. It feels right. Don't take much torque. I'd say we probably do have enough thread engagement where I wouldn't worry about it falling off or breaking. It might be about a 1/4 inch. All right, let's do a little bit more digging. Find something we can use. Here, we'll grab the adapter. What an idiot. Broke my adapter. Then I'd have to make a custom one. It does look like it would seal up good. We got a nice O-ring seal on the carb side. Let's take a chance and make sure that these bolt holes actually line up decent enough. Where'd that other one go? It ain't perfect. Good thing I'm not afraid to take a die grinder or something. Which side, I'm not certain yet. Ooh, we might have just got lucky. We found our studs. Now we just gotta figure out how long we want to make them and get them cut to length. Wait, what did I call that? 35 mil will get us pretty close. So what I'm thinking, crank our bolt down. Measure how that deep that offset is once this is tight, snug up in there. I'm gonna call that good. Should have brought the calipers with me. Honestly, I think we can get away with just cutting the head of the bolt off, slapping it on there and see what happens. It's only 4 mil longer than what it calls for, but that was kind of minimum clearances. We could always shave a little bit extra. Rather start off too long than too short. How much extra room do we have to play with? That should be no problem. See, that side's gonna be the bitch. And just since we're working with metric, we're gonna do this in millimeters, because why not? All right, I think I'm gonna want about 33 or 34 mil exposed from the crankcase, the intake, or whatever the heck it is. All right, they're both pretty much identical. Let's take 11 mil off of them. Yeah, it looks happier now. Let's see if it'll just thread right in. Actually, let's scrape a gasket first. We must have ground that one a little better. We'll just run it through that a couple times and that'll be my thread chaser. Clean her upper guy. Oh, that was lovely. Now that one went in a lot better. Nice. Well, let's get a little test fit here, see how it lines up. Maybe it'll work right. Still got to put our gaskets in, but there's no point in putting those on until we make sure it's going to work right. Now's when we'll also see if we got to trim some of this up a little bit. Probably should trim it up, but oh, that's gonna be perfect. We'll have just enough gap. There's still about 2 mil. There's like 2.5 there. Is that pushed all the way on? Yeah. Oh yeah. That should work. Bolts ain't the happiest, but I don't care. I don't think we'll have to worry about the carburetor falling off. Cool, let's get a gasket on that. Slap it on there. We might be done with the carb install. Throttle cabling and plumbing might be a different issue. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Not as bad as I was expecting. Fancy. Ooh, they're racing parts and they're genuine. I will say, looks pretty cool. It's semi-clear. Is that smoked intake tubing housing for the filter? That'll work. Maybe. Oh, get on there. Was it backing the whole thing? I hate hose clamps that are cheap. Perfect. And it's out of line of the mud getting thrown up too bad. Cool. Now we just need to figure out throttle setup. Because what was on it probably ain't gonna work with what is on it. Yeah, it's a Phillips. We're just gonna cheat because it's scrap anyways. That one we better not cheat. Ow! It bit me. Can't even see what's going on. Yeah, there we go. Makes me maintain proper, what's it called? Proper something. Posture, proper posture. So we need to figure out throttle. I say measure it, we'll order one. And in the meantime, I'm gonna figure out our fuel tank. Because we need the supply to be higher. It's up over here, but we ain't gonna be able to come up and over and feed very well. I think we'll just figure out a way to mount the that fuel tank up higher. All right, well, I'm an idiot. Totally forgot that the fuel tank sits up here and the bowl's down here, so it'll be pressure fed as long as this hump ain't above the fuel level, which it shouldn't be. We'll be fine. So we're just gonna run the stock tank on this and give it a shot, see how it works. But we also need to cover up our, I don't know, it's like the exhaust gas vent return gas line bullshit. So what I think I'm gonna do is just I cut off the hose that went in there. I'm gonna shove the hose in it, run the bolt in there, and it's gonna be kind of like a boat plug. At least that's the idea behind it. See if we can get it to stick in there tight enough not to fall out. Is it gonna grab? I'm hoping I can just thread this thing in here, and the teeth or the threads will be enough to bite against the rubber, push the rubber out, and lock itself in place. It feels like it's actually going. The rubber's not spinning. Spinning a little bit. That'll work. All right, let's get this fuel tank mounted back up. I've got some clear line I found. I'm kind of hesitant to run this. See, it ran up and through here. That was like the heavier rubber hose. I don't know if I really like that routing option. Got a little inline fuel filter here. Probably need to zip tie it down a little bit so it maintains a good angle. So I think what we might do instead is just run it over top, right into the bottom of the fuel tank, which will be somewhere in there. Wrap that around there. But it'll go up in here like this. Come on, you little bugger. Anyways, so it'll basically go like that. I think we'll get enough of an angle there. It should be fine. Who the heck is calling me? Oh, didn't even answer. I hit decline. Oops. Maybe if we heat that hose up a little better. I think once we get it over it, it'll go. It's kind of slightly stretched out now. Let's give it the old better heat and beat. Let's get this. Oh no! Oh, we got bubbles. Went too far. Oh, now it's thin. Owie! Hot. Got it too hot. Well, good thing we got like 6 more attempts before I give up, try something else. Guess I don't need the clamp plate on it no more. Try that. It's friggin' hot. All right, screw this. Let's see how shitty this fits on here. That one fit good though. Like a hot dog down the hallway. Stupid. Can I make this fit good enough though? But if we clamp the shit out of that, it'll be fine. We should probably put some sort of filter on it though. Let's go see what we got. We're just gonna slap a couple hose clamps on it and see what happens. All right, call that good. We're gonna run it up over top, so we'll just put this somewhere like. That ought to keep it out of the way and sealed up. All right, let's drop this bad boy back on and see if this fuel line routing is gonna even work. Ugh. Doesn't help, I just filled this thing up with fuel a couple days ago. Oh. Yeah, I mean, it's not the most ideal right here. It's a little sharp. But I mean, it's thick ass hose, it'll be fine. Except we want it under the throttle cable. It's obviously not hooked up yet. All right, we're gonna go for it, like right there. Square enough. Let's grab another hose clamp over here. It's off the end of this one, and I feel like there was a clamp on the other end. That one will work. What we'll do to test it though, we're just gonna slap this on here because it fits okay. Shit, should we take a little bit more off? Yeah, I think we should. Take like another inch off. We'll give it a healthy inch. Short. Well, that ain't working. Idiot. Probably shouldn't went healthy inch. Does it route better this way? Yeah, then it's resting on a head. Okay, that hose isn't very good for this particular application. But it does prove one thing. Fuels are flowing. Don't make any sparks, we're gonna get hot hands. Okay, well, that'll work until that fuel line kicks over and hits the damn hot head. All right, real quick before I go out to the barn and work on the tractor. Got tires chalked. Rear end's jacked up. And I want to see if this thing's even going to run. So let's try to fire it up real quick. And I got throttle right here. Go vroom, vroom. Sounds good. Let's kick the ignition on. Give her a couple of yanks. Do we choke it? Yeah, why not? We don't want good winches go flying. Just let those bolts fall where we want them to. Good enough. I haven't made any adjustments on this, obviously, because it hasn't started yet. Let's see what happens. Oh, shit. That's kind of nice. It's up that. I think that's my idle control. Let's up that a little bit. Shouldn't need to choke it, I don't know. I never bolted the fuel tank in. Well, she runs. Idle's a little low. Does that stop easy? Sounds alright. Oh, look at that coffee jiggle. Nice vibrations. Shit, never hooked up the ground switch. Dum-dum. Thing didn't run away. Cool, let's get that fuel tank bolted in, then we'll give it some good rip'ems and see how it sounds. All right, solid as can be. And I did put my ground out on-off switch on it. All right, let's fire it up. Sweet. Hell yes. She's doing all right. I really hope you guys saw that light fall from here, hit the tire, kicked forward. I think it bounced up on that tire maybe, and then went over there and plopped on the ground. Make sure it's not a fallen soldier. Oh, still bright. All right, cool. We've got our throttle cable on order. Once we get that in, we should be able to, well, we should be able to go for a rip. Fantastic. While we're waiting on the throttle cables to arrive, which should be here today, that's the next day, by the way. Anyways, we're going to address the next issue at hand. And that is, this little booger is ridiculously hard to steer. Like, it takes too much effort. Even on concrete where it's smooth, you get on the dirt and the tires just want to grab and you're just muscling it the whole time. So what I think we're going to do, pull this bolt out, flop the tie rods out of the way. We're going to drill a hole a little bit lower down, basically as low as I can get that drill flush to the steering shaft. And that should give me a good bit more leverage. I mean, it should make it twice as easy if I can bring it half the distance, in theory. Sounds good to me anyways. So let's get those pulled off and get ready to drill it. Actually, we could probably just leave them on while we drill it and pull them out, put them right back in the next hole. Let's do that. And since this thing's just a cranky little kind of POS anyways, we're just gonna pick a spot and send it. That looks about good enough. Yeah, it's gonna be close. I guess if anything, we'll make some custom washers by just grinding part of them off, because screw it. Oh man, I hope I don't run into tie rod clearance issues. Probably should have thought about that first. Note to self. When I say clearance issues, I'm talking the distance between the frame here, tie rod here. If we bring this down, it's going to bring that a lot closer. I guess worst case scenario, we'll drill a different hole. Got one lined up. Come on. Wiggle, wiggle. The tie rods themselves are hitting the damn. Think we can just beat that with a hammer through there? Probably gonna mess my threads up. Pretty close. Oh, I made it crooked. Screw it, let's wall our hole out. Make it happen. Oh, that's got real nice taper. You know, it's probably just the damn tie rod hitting that don't line up. Yep. Bugger. What an idiot. Oh, it's loose. Nice. There's one much smaller than the other. Oh, that one's loose too. Cool. Just snug those up when we're down here. All right, drilling different holes. See if we can get it straight this time. Now we're just lightening it. It's not, we did that on purpose. Well, that's going to want to turn now. Oh, she hot. Let's try that. Don't mind the super crooked holes. Like I said, she's not the most prettiest, whatever the hell you want, go-kart. Yeah, no, she's not. Oh, it wasn't even snug before. Oh well. All right, let's see how that feels. I mean, that feels... Here, I'll get the feet out of the way. That's so much easier to turn. We still max out our steering almost. Well, we can turn a little farther left. Tire's touching. Then we can to the right. Tire not touching. Good thing this is NASCAR. And we only make left-hand turns. I'm gonna call that job done. I thought about cutting that off and making it nice, rounded, pretty again. But there's no point in that. Steering wheel's not even straight. See, I think the tires are somewhat lined up straight right there. We're off a good, what, 10 degrees? Wow. Love it. Beautiful. Done. Well, the stupid camera died. Didn't feel like getting another battery. It's kind of just not in the mood to really deal with this too awful much today, but we got to finish this up. So we got this fancy extra long cable that was going to fit in and be great, good to go, right? However, if you can see, there ain't no little nubber on the end of this one, meaning it wasn't going to work with the carburetor, and I didn't feel like making my own. So what we ended up doing is we had one of those about, well, I'll show you how short it was. It was about that short. We'll call it 6 inches. There, you can see it. About 6 inches short. So what we did, just cut a new little bracket piece. Oh, we still gotta tighten this down. Let me get it adjusted right. Tighten that front one back. It's 12 mil, I think. Those are halves. Anyway, so what we did was we just made an extension piece out of some high quality aircraft grade aluminum. Just kidding, it was whatever shit was laying on the floor over there. And then we had a clearance issue over here. There was the bolt sticking off the other end where the spring, the return spring hooked on that bolt, and it was also our, we'll call it a throttle stop. But slight oversight, when we lowered the tie rods down, well, it kind of hits the pedal. But that's okay, because now we have a, let's see if I can do it, moving bump stop. So it slows you down just a wee bit on the turns, so you don't be too stupid. And then on the straightaways, like, well, I mean, that's gonna be fine until it isn't. And I'm okay with that. But pedal drops back pretty quick. Haven't fired it up and actually tested this yet, but we're just gonna hope it works and send it. Back on this side, we've got, let's see here. So there's a fancy, was it Nibby carburetor, I think, just, I don't know, fancy Amazon shit. We zip tied the, we zip tied the fuel hose back. Zip tied the throttle cable. I didn't want too sharp of a bend here, but I mainly didn't want it bending out of the top of the carb body there. So we did some zip tying, and it looks all right. But now I think we're ready to drop this down and take her out for a little run. Now let's get this bad boy outside. Hey, watch out, I'm spinning it. Hey, just get behind it when we jump over this plate. That's good. Well, I think we've double checked everything. Let's get the shop closed up. We'll take this over to the warehouse side and hopefully it fires up, drives over, and we'll be happy. Okay, let's get her fired up. Hopefully it don't take off into the pond way down there. All right, choke. That's such a low idle. I think it's warming up a little too. Oh, we'll try that. Let's double check, make sure kill switch works. Okay. If something happens and it runs away, I need to be able to kill it. Or worst case scenario, this free 50 engine blows up and we laugh about it. All right, so as I said before, previously, you'd take off driving on this and the engine would die afterwards and it would just suck. Have to start it a whole bunch of times, get it back on level ground. I think it was something to do with the float bowl and stuff inside the carburetor. Just wasn't built to be bouncing around and moving. Brakes work. Uh-oh. Ah, the steering is so much better. Going to be the big test. Last time with it, I'd go running like that, it'd do fine, and then I'd come to a stop and it would just cut out and die. So if this stays idling right here, oh, that's just lovely. Well, since we got a go-kart that runs, I think we should take a little rip around the track. Let's do it. Ooh, it almost put you, oh, bump bite. Yeah. Yeah, we had that Halloween party last night and Addie came out here with her friends and just rode in circles in the golf cart. That's why it's all packed down nice and smooth. All right, big test number 2. Let's see if it'll stay idling. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love it. All right, so the weirdest thing just happened. I was sitting here. Oh, yeah, that scoots. All right, so I was sitting here. As soon as I hit stop recording, she puttered out and died. I want to make sure I ain't got no fuel leaks or something stupid. But it almost sounded like the ignition just shut off.
Is your idle just that low?
I don't know. I mean, yes, it's a low idle, but I was idled up a little bit and it cut out. Let's go do a little dig and see if we can figure out what it was. Well, let's just see if it'll start up again. I don't know if that was me, bumped it. Maybe a wire came loose. Maybe the kill switch wire came loose. No, it's still good. Still there. That's the old one. It doesn't matter anymore. But it kind of just sounded like it just killed itself. A little oil leak. As long as it's dripping, it's still got oil. Let's try to start it. Seems fine. Oh, grabbed a little. Oh, we can back that idle off a little. that bell from the clutch backed off ever so slightly. I'm gonna call that good enough. Sweet! Let's rip. I don't think it was the carburetor now.
What is it?
Ignition module? Points? Condenser? Something along those lines? Maybe like once it gets up to a certain temperature it cuts out, or that, no, that wouldn't make sense. I don't know. Here's what we're going to do real quick. I do have an idea. Maybe I have a faulty switch, which I shouldn't, because that's at least like a 37-cent switch off Amazon. So what we're going to do real quick actually is we're just going to take the old kill switch, plug it back in. Oh, you couldn't even see. Damn. Let's see here. Hey, you want to hold the camera?
Yep.
You can hold it from that side. I also have to talk extra loud with that damn pump jack running. Get down there right here. All right, so we're just gonna plug the old switch back in. That shouldn't be it, because it's a basic ground out on-off kind of shit. So let's see. Let's try that. Thinking, I mean, it could just be this little doohickey's kind of crap. Wait a second. Where is that wire? I'm gonna look up that part number, figure out what that is, and we'll go from there. We'll be back. Okay, I think we could have fixed this without redoing the whole carburetor, because this little sensor doohickey down here, it said multi-quip float, and I'm assuming that's gonna be one of your, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically a kill switch, like an anti-tip over, like if it tips over, it'll automatically shut the engine off. In case you know, as it was a pressure washer, if you pulled it too hard and it tipped over and keep it from running sideways and screwing itself up, it's a bit of a protection. So we're just gonna completely bypass that. I just gotta figure out what needs plugged in where, because I'm pretty certain this is the important wire. Well, I don't know. Let's plug it in back in with my switch. Ah, get out of there, booger. Where's the other part of it? That was the other part of it. Maybe this needs to go in here. Now I'm just guessing here. We'll see if this starts. If this starts right up, then I'm gonna say we had a tip over protection sensor doohickey on there. Very well could have been. Let's try it. Stay hydrated. This episode brought to you by Busch Light. Cheers.
Interesting.
Fuel delivery on that one, maybe?
Maybe. When you jerked it forward, it came to a stop too.
I don't know.
Have you checked your oil level?
No.
That doesn't sound good.
Oh, I know what that was. I know exactly what that was, why that is pressurized. So, get down right here. Apparently it needs to, I need to put a breather vent and I can't uncover that, or I can't just straight up plug it. So we need to figure out a vent situation.
Okay.
That's probably what that was. Created weird back pressure in there maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't spew out anything and burn me. It's a long bolt. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that on there.
I heard it.
Pressure is something or other coming out. Okay, live and learn. Don't do that again. Yeah, all right. Well, let's try it again. No, it's still on because it's died on its own. Now we check the oil?
Yes. If it's too low on oil, it would do that.
It's got oil. It's downhill, but it's still coming out a little. It's got plenty to run. But I don't know if there's an oil sensor on this one.
Face it uphill.
I gotta pick it up. Oh, kids killed my flashlight last night. I wonder if it had something to do with the, I never took it apart to pull the governor assembly out of the innards. Could that be spinning and doing something? I think that just, there's like a little flywheel thingy in there that kind of speeds up, slows down, so I don't think that would hurt anything. I don't know. I mean, it should be plenty fine on oil, I would think. I'm playing with the little shaft that comes out that usually controls the little governor arm that kind of does this little wiggle thingy with your RPMs. See if it feels like it catches anything. It shouldn't have any effect on this because we're just running the throttle cable directly to the carb. I don't know. I think we have to call it quits for the day though. Got to go in and get some work done. Yeah, do a little research on this, figure out exactly what that sensor was, and go from there. I don't know. Well, that was easy.
What'd you do?
I disconnected the oil sensor. So I got on the old Amazon real quick and was looking for different parts or whatever to see if it popped up that it had one. Well, it turns out, let's shut it off so you can hear me. It turns out, I'm pretty certain this goes down into a little sensor doohickey in there that is like the oil capacity one. Basically, it's another safety thing on it, so where if you run low on oil, it won't start or it'll cut itself out or whatever. Which leads me to believe that was probably the issue the whole time. And we didn't need our fancy nibby. But now we've got a racing go-kart because it says racing right there. That's racing. Yeah, it's go fast bitch now. Okay, let's put this to the pace a little bit, or put it to the test, and see if disconnecting that one wire, well, technically 2 wires, I guess, to see if that made the difference. Yeah. Aha! Next one might need electric start. Aha! How you live and learn, right?
Go on.
Whew. And on that note, we are done with this. Blah, 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 blah. We are done with this episode. Gears are turning, but nothing's happening up here right now. Hold on. Anyways, wait, lighting shit. There, you can see me a little better. There we go. All right, well, if you lasted this long, thanks for watching. Happy you guys joined us on this rather simple, or not so simple, adventure. And I hope to see you next time. Don't forget to click the like, subscribe, and all that shit. Bye! Stupid ass little wire right there. That little booger right there is all I had to disconnect. Literally just unplugged it. And it worked great. Like, damn.